First up, we have the Team Heart Nanaha, played by Lumi-chan. Nanaha is
A dark monk who is human and periodically questions whether or not we're the good guys or the bad guys. She currently thinks we're the good guys.
Next, we have Saya, the Water Genasi Warlock, played by me. She is not concerned whether or not we are the good or the bad guys, and is also just kind of out of it today. Next, we have Raz, played by Mazegas. Raz is
a Shadarkai fighter barbarian who is currently not very strong, apparently, based on this D&D Beyond extension.
You're updated.
Next, we have Pocket, played by Desane. Pocket is
Tabaxi Phantom, who got murdered last time.
Then we have Team Mom Verity, who very much made sure Pocket was not murdered. Played by the one and only Mr. Pounce. Verity is
ye old divine soul sorceress, and I was gonna say he got murdered, but it didn't stick, so it's fine.
Next, we have one of the few holy men left in Barovia, as well as Lumberjack Jesus, Axel Sillison, played by Lennon Marks. Axel is
Axel is a human devotion paladin and light cleric, and he's pretty convinced he's the bad guy.
And last, but most definitely not least, our GM extraordinaire Fluffy Snowfall is here to take us away. Just as a quick note before that, we did get the D&D Beyond extension running, so if you hover on the right side of your screen on Twitch, you should be able to pull that up, which will show you most of the characters. We're still working out some kinks.
Nanaha and Verity will be in before next session.
Oh, and Nev, I reloaded, so I should have Axel on there and not Edward.
All right. Last time, things got a little dicey as everybody decided to engage in a bit of revolution. Axel inspired, air quotes, various villagers to take up arms against the burgomaster's tyranny. And that inspiration turned into an unruly mob as many of them tried to burn down the burgomaster's manor. Thanks to the observations of Nanaha, she was able to save the burgomaster's wife, who was being locked up and probably going to be murdered by the townspeople that were enraged. Verity tried to sneak in to the manor by seducing the brutish Izek Strasny, but didn't go the way she was anticipating.
Well, never does.
True, it went very differently than she was expecting, where she learned some information that he had a long-lost sister named Irina, who he was having visions of, and he was having visions of Verity as well. He was trying to get answers, however, things did not go very well, and he went outside to confront the group. Verity murdered the burgomaster. There was a lot of fighting. Pocket was killed during combat, and Izek was slain on sight. Lady Fiona Wachter, a patron of sorts for the group's motivation, was less than pleased at the way that everything went, but can't really be beggars can't be choosers right now. With that all said, the party made their way to the Blue Water for some rest and contemplation. and we find them after mostly managing to get some sleep. Pocket.
Oh no.
Hello. During the night, your dreams are haunted by the eternal nothingness that you saw when you were killed. Just the empty space, the muted colors, the gray, lifeless sensation of what seemed like an eternal prison. In the morning, mark down religion as a trained skill. The rest of you sleep however you feel necessary. I'm sure some of you stressed over the day's events struggle to find the full night's rest. Meanwhile, some of you just go to sleep like any other night.
All right, so I'm guessing it's morning.
Yes.
How's Axel doing?
Wait, was that in character or out?
Out of character.
Oh, Axel is waking up in the church. I hope.
Yeah, you are in the church. I would like to probably imagine you kind of fell asleep on one of the pews.
Yeah.
You find yourself in the morning covered in a thinned blanket. You can tell it's threadbare in some spots.
Is Matilda around when I wake up?
She is. She's pouring some tea.
I like neatly fold up the blanket and hand it back to her. Thank you very much. Sorry to barge in here last night.
It is fine. Hospitality is the absolute least I could do for you.
Do you need any help around here this morning? I don't think I'm ready to head back yet.
Honestly, not really. I don't imagine there will be a lot of people in here today.
Very well. My friends and I are staying at the Blue Water. I imagine we'll be here for a couple of days. If you need anything, please come find me. I shouldn't be too hard to find now.
All right, sounds good.
Go in peace, sister.
You as well. May the light watch over you.
Thank you. So Axel's gonna leave the church. He's not really heading back. He's just kind of wandering the city streets vaguely towards the Blue Water.
Okay. You see, as you're kind of just wandering the streets, there's a few houses where people are removing boards from the windows. A couple of people are nervously kind of sitting on their front porch. Many of the houses are still long since abandoned. Not entirely sure what would be inside. Some people recognize you and either come up to thank you or congratulate you. Some of them just seem to avoid eye contact entirely.
Yeah, Axel will glad handing is the wrong term, but Axel will have conversation with the people that come up to him, and like if anyone is like he's going to interact with the people that are being nice to him, and if anyone's being a jerk, he's just ignoring them.
No one's being a jerk. The most that they will do is avoid eye contact with basically anyone. So if there was any intention of a slight, it wasn't directed at you.
Okay, so like no one's throwing rotten vegetables at me.
No.
Okay. So Axel kind of cheers up a little bit, seeing that at least people are happy. That like it wasn't a complete failure.
Yeah. The rest of you, what would you like to do as morning comes? It is strange getting used to the filtered light outside as meaning daytime.
Nanaha is currently wrapped up in the blankets like a caterpillar, having a nightmare going, let me go, let me go!
The two dogs are not in the room with you.
No, they're down with the... Oh god, I just forgot his name all of a sudden.
Erwin.
Thank you. I was going through the eye names. They're down with Erwin, so...
I just wanted to remind you in case you were like, where are the dogs?
No, she's just having a low-level nightmare wrapped up like a burrito.
Sounds familiar. Roz? Verity, Pocket? Saya? Anything y'all want to do?
When Verity gets up, she will, if Pocket's still asleep, or even if he's awake, she'll kind of give him the once over, make sure there's, still nothing, no holes that shouldn't be there.
He seems... Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying I'm still asleep.
Yeah. He seems okay. From the twitching in his sleep, you can tell he might be not having the most pleasant of dreams.
She will deliver one, parentheses, the number 1, singular ear rub, and just kind of let him rest.
Roz would likely have headed downstairs to grab breakfast for the group.
Yep, there is a porridge for everybody with some apples on top.
Do they have any milk?
No.
Dang.
Haven't had any Vistani traders in a while.
All right, he'll get enough for the 5 of us, assuming Axel can get his own food.
There were a lot of people still in the tavern room when he came down. People seem to have come here pretty bright and early. Kind of exchanging gossip, having breakfast. It seems like a lot of people just don't want to think about what happened.
Once we've eaten, if Axel hasn't returned to the inn, Sai's probably going to tell Rez that she's going to go look for him. Because, there are people dumb enough to try to set fire to the Burgomaster's mansion. They might be dumb enough to make an attempt on his stupidity. Like, his stupid ass, too.
Are there... So I know there's the Blue Water, but, like, in town, are there, like, any, like, food stalls or anything like that? Or is the Blue Water literally the only restaurant?
As far as, like, a restaurant, the Blue Water is the most common. There are food stalls. You've seen them down in Town Square. Typically, that's where most of the shops and stalls there'll be people selling produce. There'll be some people selling baked items or prepared items.
Sure. Yeah. I imagine Axel's gonna kind of like wander in, like just kind of blindly in there and like buy some breakfast from a vendor in the town square and just like sit on a bench and eat.
Yeah, you'll be able to get some cinnamon bread.
Delicious. How much does that cost?
That'll cost a silver.
Cool. I buy 2 of them and go and sit down on a bench.
All right. It's relatively early still. You see some people setting up. There's still some folks cleaning up the town square from yesterday. You can see kind of the damage. Some of the buildings were defaced. Some looting occurred. You can see some of the stocks are broken and battered, and
he like Axel is excited, or not excited, but he's happy to see that the stocks were destroyed or damaged, but like the rest of it is kind of like, oh god.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are a few buildings where the windows are broken in, and it seems like a few of them are full out abandoned. A couple of them you can see people trying to fix their houses.
Whenever Roz came in with the food, Nanaha fell out of the bed in a bundle, untangled herself, and tried to do the thing like when the cat misses its leap. It just kind of like, oh, that didn't happen, and starts walking towards the food. Axel's not back yet.
He didn't return all night. My guess is either he's murdered in the church or he's helping people.
Murder doesn't sound good.
I plan to go looking for him after we eat.
Should we wait for Pocket to wake up for helping with the search?
Let the cat sleep. Verity can keep an eye on him.
Once Axel is done eating, by the way, he's going to go up and offer to either like help like scrub the graffiti or help people repair their windows or just whatever they're doing, like help people get their homes back together or
Sure.
businesses or whatever they are.
Some people, most people are fine with you helping. Some of the people who are fixing up their houses tell you, I wouldn't say rudely, but are basically like, we're fine. We don't need your help, thank you. Like, you can tell they're trying to brush you off.
Sure. Yeah. Axel's not going to say anything to him. He, if you can find me at the church or around city if you ever need anything, sort of stuff.
They nudge you off and will, continue to go fix up their houses that were broken into. Some of the abandoned houses, you see some rats kind of sniffing the air and scurrying off into alleyways.
I'll have to tell Pocket about them.
Anything else you'd like to do before returning?
No, basically, I'm gonna like stay until no one wants help. Basically.
All right. You're sitting there. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go.
No, you go.
Seriously, you go.
It's fine, Angela. Go ahead.
Mine was filler if you didn't have anything to say. Go, Fluffy.
All right, Axel, as you're sitting there, that bench have room for one more?
Of course.
You see, Lord Von Holtz sitting down next to you.
Good morning, Lord Van Holtz.
You can call me Vasily. It is fine.
Good morning, Vasily, then.
How are you doing? You seemed a bit forlorn last night, and I was a bit worried for your well-being.
I think it's going to be a while, but I tell you what, the cinnamon bread is great for cheering up.
I have heard many good things about it. I had already helped myself to breakfast this morning at the inn. Otherwise, I would have been more than happy to share some with you.
No worries, no worries. Did the inn suffer any damages?
Did not seem so. I think the fact that your friends were staying there prevented most of any sort of retaliation. And you know what they say about biting the hand that feeds you? The one place in town to buy wine, I don't think people would want to mess with that.
Oh, that's a good point. That is a good point. Are you heading back to your manor this morning?
Yes, I was planning on doing that. I was just wrapping up some business, and we'll be on the road shortly.
Sorry to maybe bring up a sore subject, but did you ever find out what happened to your butler? Or aide?
It was one of my butlers, yes. We looked into it, and I'm very sorry, friend. It looks like all points of information kept pointing to your tabaxi friend. I managed to smooth things over with my people. You all have done a great service for this valley, and while I understand the need for justice, I think the good that you all are doing is recompense enough. It seems like your friend is going through a lot.
That is certainly true. If it helps, I don't believe it was him. If you follow, but I don't. That obviously doesn't help your butler.
I understand. His actions were not one of... well, forgive me. Either he's a very good actor at hiding his emotions, or he was not guilty consciously.
I'm pretty sure it's not the former.
That was my thought. I smoothed things over with my other servants. I gave them a bonus pay, and we talked things over. Tensions were a little high, but I was able to keep them from being more upset than one would expect.
Well, I'm in your debt, and Pocket is as well, whether he knows it or not. If you ever need anything, please feel free to find us. We certainly owe you a favor.
I appreciate that, and if I ever do, I will make sure to seek you out. You know where to find me as well. Safe travels, and I hope this does not become a regular occurrence.
I agree, Vasily. May you go in the light.
You as well. You see the handsome young man just kind of like with a bit of pep in his step, walking off towards the western portion of the town.
Excellent. Axel will, after that, and kind of doing one last glance around the town square, making sure kind of everything's in order. Axel will start heading back toward the blue water.
All right. Nanaha?
Currently, she's digging in the bag of holding, going, Piddlewick, Piddlewick, are you there? If you are, gently pull my hair. And hoping maybe she can summon him, because she's getting worried.
You don't see anything in there, unfortunately.
Dang it.
You guys lost Piddlewick?
I went back to the toy maker's place, and he apparently had escaped.
I feel like I'm missing about half of those steps, Nanaha. Why would Piddlewick escape? There's many questions here, and I'm not sure I have the energy.
He was there for observation while we were doing the aquatic expedition, and we went back afterwards. And apparently he decided he didn't want to stay, even though we bargained for him to stay that long, and we couldn't find him.
Okay. I will keep an eye out, I suppose.
On the bright side, he seems pretty adept at moving around unseen if he doesn't want to be seen. So either he'll find us or he don't. And if he don't, one less thing we've got to worry about.
You say that, but Puckett has been rather fussy without his handle hilt thing.
I'm also slightly concerned about not being able to have an eye on Piddlewick. I know we don't typically give much credence to Puckett's paranoia, but I did find Piddlewick sneaking into their room one night to play pranks on Pocket, so perhaps he's not so paranoid.
So perhaps we use Pocket as bait to catch ourselves a little toy.
On an impulse, Verity just looks under Pocket's bed.
Roll an investigation check.
Okay.
Ace, I have a question for you. Days.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Does Pocket keep a journal or a diary or any of that sort of stuff?
No. No.
Okay. You find...
I mean, he could, but I haven't personally written that in. Feel free.
That's
to
fine. Nah, that's fine. You just find a small pouch of a few random coins and odds and ends that Pocket is pocketed.
Like Lady Voctor's silverware.
Yep.
Yep.
That solitary fork.
So she pulls out the bag and she looks in it and oh god damn it, Pocket. She pockets the satchel of. Well, she pockets the fork and then puts the satchel back.
Okay.
Because the rest is his. That so far as she knows.
Valid.
It'll be a great icebreaker for the book club, I'm sure.
Just sneak it back in like it fell under the table.
Lennon has had to step away for a second because the cat's up to shenanigans over here.
Yeah, I wanted to say something. I thought I heard them, but I didn't want to smash the immersion, but I thought I heard like "Wah!" in the background. I could just be hearing things though. How's everybody's Saturday going?
He's good. It's Saturday.
It's not Monday.
Yeah,
terrible
not
to me.
Monday. All right. Well, while we are waiting for Lennon to return.
Sorry, if she wasn't eating keyboard chords, this wouldn't be a problem, but she has been.
It's okay. We are looking at a snowstorm tonight, and I'm excited.
Send it this way.
No,
Okay.
don't you dare.
If we send it your way, Days, we're going to hear about Phoenix just being in an absolute uproar as it gets dumped with snow.
Which would be
I'm
kind of
okay
funny.
with this.
I mean, if you could stop it at Phoenix, then fine. But chances are it's just gonna slide right on over the Sierra Mountains and just. And then who has to walk to work tonight in slushy wetness again? This guy.
Yep.
I mean, if the people from Phoenix are anything like those from Albuquerque, the minute they see like 2 flakes, they just go into chicken with a head cut off mode and just panic and just run around like crazy
100%.
people.
I mean, that's half the fun, isn't it? In living in a town where you don't get snow.
I mean, if you live in Albuquerque and that happens, you should just head over to the world famous Albuquerque Holiday Inn where the towels are oh so fluffy.
Nani?
I feel like I've heard that commercial, Fluffy, but it's been a while.
Okay, it's a Weird Al song.
I'm back. And if you're in Albuquerque and it's snowing, you can go visit the Walter White House.
All right. Axel,
Yes.
what would you like to do now that you've had your breakfast and have tried to do some reparations for yesterday's event?
Axel is heading back to the inn to meet up with the group to let him know he's okay. He's not walking super fast. Like, he is just kind of meandering through town in his own head, but he's heading back toward the inn.
Okay. Takes you probably about an hour of moseying to finally make it way back to the inn. Sitting outside of the blue water, you see 2 large dogs just kind of tilt their heads, sniff you a little bit. You're welcome to go inside.
I met the dogs, right?
Yes, these are the same dogs that belong to the Burgomaster.
Right. Okay. I will give them little head pats and then head into the bar.
The tavern room is still pretty busy. There are people drinking, day drinking. Erwin gives you just kind of a nod of the head as he is serving wine to various customers. You see a couple, you see 2 particularly, drunken-looking individuals in the back of the room. 2 young men, probably in their, early 20s.
Axel will give a little wave back to Erwin, and I assume it's very loud in the bar.
It is very loud in the bar, yes.
So I will head up to the bar and not yell at Erwin, but try to talk over the din. Hey, are my friends still upstairs, or have they left already?
Last I knew, they were upstairs. There has not been any reason for them to leave.
Thank you, Erwin.
No problem. I can't promise they didn't jump out the window. That's something they'd probably do.
Yeah, it is. I'll have to check. Thanks, Erwin. And I'll head up to meet with everyone.
You all hear the clanking of metal upstairs.
Saya's gonna just open the door and lean against the doorframe. Ah, he deigns to return.
Good morning, Saya.
Rick, you doing okay?
I will be. What's the plan?
It's only been dinner? My goodness. It's only been breakfast so far.
Pocket hasn't woken up yet.
Is he doing okay?
Motions to Verity.
He seems fine, although I didn't conduct a full inspection. I thought he would prefer to rest, and she's gone back to doing that idle thing that she does between his ears with her fingers.
Axel goes over to Verity and I know you don't like, or no, it's Saya both of you don't like being touched, right?
Correct.
In general, yes, mostly because it's often dangerous for the touchy than her, but yes, or the toucher.
Sure. So Axel is going to go over to Verity and be like, I'm sorry, I have to do this. And it gives you just this giant pick you off the ground bear hug. Thank you for saving my friend's life. I owe you a debt of gratitude. If you ever need anything after this or during, I owe you.
Please put me down and you may call it even.
Axel sets Verity down. Sorry, I lost internet for a second there, I think. Axel sets Verity down. Very well, but no need to call it even. Thank you.
Actually, now that I have your attention, in a manner of speaking, what happened to him yesterday?
That he ended up in need of your assistance?
Well, yes. I mean, I wasn't there. Slight look away, like my fault. Oh shit, I'm a terrible person. And then back to... but Puckett is... Isaac, for all his strength and ferocity, is not what I would call nimble or agile. And Puckett is excellent at not being caught when he decides he doesn't want to be. So how on earth did this happen?
Believe it or not, Verity, Pocket decided yesterday was a great time to be brave.
He was incredibly brave. Stood his ground, made sure that Isaac was dead. Me being alive, I probably owe to him.
Incredulous, slightly sus look.
I swear, people always choose the worst time to become brave.
I know it's real easy to make fun of Pocket because he does some funny things sometimes, but there's a lot more in there than just a scared thief.
Sure, but I'm not really seeing brains from his random decision there.
She that earns Saya a sort of a half little scowl.
I mean, no one is ever going to claim that Pocket or I are scholars of any sort, but he's got a good heart, and I think he made a defensible decision. I've thought there are so many things that could have gone a little different, and he'd have been fine. And whether that's my failure or his or fate, he ended up where he did.
Yes, well, if you're ever worried about your intelligence, just remember that we've never had to rescue you from being tied up on a beach somewhere.
I mean, just remember, I could have left that whole thing.
We've all
Besides-
done stupid things while we've been here. There's no sense in recriminations.
Besides, we all know that Raz is the only one with any actual brains among us.
There goes the look again, but she doesn't say anything.
Raz just kind of has a slight smile and kind of that shrug of, I guess so. But otherwise stays quiet.
Mama goes and sits on a nearby bed and takes a quick look at Verity. Are her clothes still kind of shredded?
Oh yeah, she's all fucked up. She hasn't really thought to like mend, the thing yet.
Okay, you don't have anything planned for today, as far as I can tell. Tell me if I'm wrong. She's waggling her finger as she says this. You look a bit of mess, dear. You sure you don't want to, like, I don't know, maybe go shopping for some new clothes?
She kind of looks down. She's like, "Oh, right, yes, sorry." And she grabs the quill and starts, mending the tears and the rips and all that stuff.
I'm just wondering if we could get you something new.
What's wrong with my robe?
There's nothing wrong with it. It's just okay. I have one outfit, okay, and I know that you guys are supposed to be at some point going to a book club, so I didn't know if you wanted something different to wear for it.
Oh, possibly to your interests here, Verity. I ran into Vasily in town. We are still welcome in his manor and as guests, it sounds like, if you do want to go get a new dress made.
What?
Otherwise, there's a local shop in town.
You do realize that I dressed up yesterday with purpose and that I don't actually want to look like that at all. Ever.
No. But, variety is the spice of life.
Then
And I'm
go
sure-
spice up your life.
I'm sure Vasily could make something that would look fetching on you, Verity.
What?
I don't think she wants fetching. I think she wants comfy.
I'm sure he could do that, too.
Axel, you weren't here when Nanaha was doing the makeover. There's some curves under that robe.
I believe it.
All right. That's it. And she just gets up and just kind of like angry walks, like brisk angry walks out the door.
How deep of a sleeper are you?
I was like, I just pulled the blanket up over my head because they're getting loud. At this point I've been awake. I was probably awake at the hug and then just laying silently listening. I still have a headache. You guys are loud.
And Verity slams the door with her tail at that point.
Hey, buddy. You
Mama
okay?
pops out after Verity.
I'll go make sure they don't kill each other.
At Axel's voice, I'll throw the blanket off and hug Axel. Hey, guy. Sorry for yesterday.
I think I need to apologize to you more than that. Don't worry, man. You doing okay?
I think so. I'm gonna look around the room. Are there like ghosts or something in the room? Am I like am I still in a dream?
You feel something in the corner of your vision, but you can't see anything. It's kind of like that being watched sort of sensation, but there's nothing indicating this is a dream, this is all real.
I feel fine. I don't think I've ever died before. I'm glad for having 9 lives, I guess.
Let's try to keep the other 8 intact.
Cut
while
them
we're
off.
here.
Oh, there's food! And go eat the food.
Yeah, it's kind of gummy and cold at this point, but it's still food.
Get all the rest you need, Pocket. I think we've got the day off, as it were. Just recover, man. Thank you for everything.
Thank you. And I'll have to go tell Verity thanks also. in between chews.
When you do, make sure you give her a big hug as part of the thanks. She really liked the one that Axel just gave her.
I will. Axel gives pretty good hugs. I mean, they're not as good as mine, but they're all right. Got to work on that, Axel.
It's tough when you've got the extra height. You can really get that upward pull.
And I'm just going to town on whatever food is left.
So, do I see where Verity got off to?
Depends. Verity, are you trying to be sneaky, or are you just like going
No.
somewhere?
She's annoyed because they were like, hey, let's tease her about her body that she hates. So, yeah, she's not being subtle at all.
Yeah,
Do
you
it.
can find her.
Okay, I'm gonna try to catch up to her then. Verity. I'm not teasing, I swear. I was just trying. Okay, we're currently not on fire. Currently. She's gesturing with her hands as she's saying this. I just wanted to find something to do, and I'm not exactly the most book smart person around, okay? And I was just trying to do something with you to just hang out, relax. We've all been so tense. And I thought it would be fun. It's not that your clothes choice is bad or anything. It was just me trying to find some common ground.
So she gets this look when Nanaha says she's not the most book smart. Verity gives her the sort of like, no fucking shit look, like the flat stare, like, duh. But she doesn't say anything because, you know, she's nice-ish. And, you know, Nanaha does things. I don't do that. I don't hang out. I don't just do. That's not me. That's why would.
I'm trying to find out what's you. What do you do when your hair is not on fire?
My hair doesn't ever catch on fire. In the mornings, it sometimes does that weird thing where it sort of lifts off on its own, like Saya's.
No. It's a turn of phrase. When you're not in mortal peril, what do you do to entertain yourself?
There's a sort of like, there's a beat passes between them, and there's a haunted look sort of passes over her expression for a second, and she just kind of doesn't really shoulder past her, but kind of, you know, walks past her headed for the market. And she goes, I'm always in mortal peril, Nanaha, and so are you, so long as you stay with me.
Yeah, but I'm also in mortal peril when I'm not with you, so why not be in mortal peril together?
I mean, there's no answer. She's headed for the market anyway, so technically Nanaha wins?
Nanaha is following her to the market.
And Saya's just been following, listening to all of this.
Awkward trio!
Saya is going to actually catch up to Nanaha when Verity pulls away and just kind of link her arm with hers. I recognize you were trying to be gentle in asking her to come and keep you company. I don't know that those are the ways we'll get through to her.
Yesterday was traumatic, to put it lightly. And things around here are going to be traumatic for a bit, so it's just hoping to, I don't know, get her to relax a little. I don't know.
Yeah, probably in the future if you want to do that, I would buy her a new book or something. But let's go make sure she doesn't, Well, I like Verity. She's not the best at talking to people. She's getting quite good, though.
Gotta attempt to get better, I guess. Well, we should at least keep an eye on her, and I don't know, maybe keep an eye out for a book. I don't know.
Are you guys, Verity? Are you heading towards the town center or the stockyard?
Where are the shops? I'm sorry.
So there is the stockyard. That's kind of the like, if you were going to go buy adventuring people stuff of just random shit. Or there's the town square where people have stalls and a few shops.
To the town square. She's gonna go look for something Well, for Irina at the moment, but mostly just to get away from whatever that was in the room.
All right. Are the other two ladies following?
Yes.
At a distance. She can know I'm there, but I'm trying not to directly interact with her since she's mad at me.
I mean, she's not, but I mean, I could see why you would think she was.
As she's reading the room, she's like, I want to make sure she doesn't get in trouble, but I don't want to make her angrier.
Oh, those are merchants, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Either that or really crazy looking owls.
Sorry, they looked really scary, and I was like, oh?
That's because every Barovian NPC looks scary.
Just really looks like a big-headed owl. So what's on the offering?
So there are a variety of stalls. Some of them are still in disrepair. You see a few militiamen in uniform, kind of like awkwardly trying to keep the peace, even though their boss is dead.
Since we're here, I would like to take, for her to take a little glance around to see if she could see that little rat bastard doll and Pocket's stupid whip handle.
Roll a investigation or perception, your choice.
Technically, perception's better. Go dice. It's over 10. We'll take it.
Unfortunately, no.
All right. Well, what kind of shops we got?
There are some food stalls, some produce stalls, people selling meats. There are a few clothing vendors, and there are a few, like there's one book vendor, one jewelry vendor, and one person who sells like handbags and backpacks and the like.
Neat. So Verity will kind of look from stall to stall. She's pretty sure that she shouldn't get Irina like a nice piece of like meat or a vegetable, but she looks a little lost otherwise as she turns back and sees sort of Nanaha floating in the distance, and not literally floating. She just kind of rolls her eyes and like beckons her over, like, "Come on."
Hey, Saya's around too.
Yeah, but I mean, Saya is kind of prickly anyway, so.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, Nanaha cautiously comes up. Yes?
If you were theoretically getting a theoretical gift for someone who is theoretically important to you, and you theoretically had only to choose from the theoretical stalls before us now, in theory, what would you possibly consider purchasing for this theoretical gift? Again, in theory.
Well, if it's an important person to me... Okay, I know you're not going to tell me who it is, but can you give me a gender?
Can Verity see Nanaha's ears with the way her hair is styled?
Yeah.
All right, she will reach over and flick one, and she goes, "You know very well it's Irina."
I didn't want to be presumptuous. With Irina, you could get her a new outfit, some jewelry. I mean, I think I saw she had pierced ears. She could probably use some earrings. If there's a type of book you like that you think she might like, you could get her one of those. Or if you want, you could get her a new weapon. I mean, get her something fancy. But I don't know if they have anything fancy here for that. Just some thoughts.
I do believe mechanically the easiest way to the heart is through the rib cage. Do you think she would like a new sword?
That laugh was me, not Nanaha. Possibly.
Saya drifts by, or some new daggers, things that she can hide.
Ooh, yes, that could also be nice. Some really, little gilded daggers that stab really well, but, look pretty when not in use.
But if they're hidden, what would be the point of making them look pretty? I don't...
Okay. You can hide daggers to be hidden entirely, or you can hide them in plain sight to make them look like they're part of your ensemble. So if some jerkwad comes up and is like, "Hey, lady, what is your sign?" and won't go away, suddenly your lovely bodice brooch is in his rib.
At this, Verity looks past Nanaha to Saya, does that actually happen?
She shrugs. Occasionally. I see most women make their hair sticks very sharp for that purpose.
Yeah, you see a lady with long, ornate things sticking out of her hair. She says no, she means no, or you're going to be missing something.
Wonderful. Let us see if we can buy some ornate hair. Oh, Fluffy, I've started. I think I've got Verity put in the thing for Nevia's overlay.
Okay.
In general, but anyway, as we were attempting to shop very awkwardly
for a long hair stick. That's
stabby hair sticks or daggers or whatever.
Roll me an investigation check.
Oh Lord! All right.
Can I assist Verity on this?
Anyone, you all can roll individually or assist each other, however you would prefer.
3 rolls is better than 2.
I will investigate as well, then.
Hey, not bad.
Heck yeah!
So, Verity, you find some very lovely hair sticks while searching through it. One of the very few jewelry stalls. Nanaha, you see some ones that are thick enough that could easily be sharpened if that was what you would want to.
Hey, look at this one. Picks up an ornate one that's thick. Do the... Not gonna actually bend it, but click, click, click. This could be good. What do you think, Verity?
Well, how will we try out? How could we try it out and see if we can actually stab someone with it without, breaking the law?
You can do whatever you want with it, just not anywhere near here.
Oh yes, hello, person running the stall. We were that was all theoretical, of course. Tell him it was, and she kind of nudges Nanaha with the elbow. All theoretical, of course.
A woman's got to protect herself. We just wanted to see if there was any hair stick of good quality.
Nope. Just if you're making a purchase, I don't care. Just make it. I am going to disavow any knowledge of this conversation.
Oh, brilliant! How much for the theoretically deadly hair sticks? Is that what they're called? What are they actually called?
100 gold.
Oh. Is his stand all fucked up?
No.
Unfortunate. Well, she mulls over the price a little bit when she has like a tenth of that gold. And she just goes, well, that was a bit more than I was hoping to spend, though I doubt you'll. But she'll give it back. She'll put them back carefully on the stand, so as not to damage them. And just kind of like, well, though I would advise you to lower the price, since in this place I highly doubt you'll sell them for what you're asking at any point in the time before the heat death of the multiverse. And just kind of wanders off.
Charming.
Why don't we see if there's a weapon shop, or maybe go to the depot that has everything, including a saber-toothed tiger, apparently.
Yeah, there would be no, there's no weapon stalls. That kind of thing would have to be the stockyard.
I mean, Verity just kind of shrugs. She's like, I have something along the lines of, thinks for a second, 15 gold, 37 silver, and 85 copper last I checked. We will not be able to purchase anything of remotely sufficient quality for Arena with that paltry amount. This is a fool's errand.
Saya snorts, just like hooks her elbow around Verity. I'll do the talking next time, okay?
What I said was perfectly fine. He is unlikely to sell them for that price.
Oh, of course. You're very much correct. But
Always am.
sometimes, you have to lie to get what you want out of it. Come, let's go check the stockyard.
I mean, she'll go along, but there is a look on her. She doesn't say it. There is a look on her face that is like, you do know what my name is, right?
Actually, Saya probably doesn't. She grew up in a small mountain town. Like, those sorts of words, if they're not used that frequently, she actually probably doesn't know what Verity means.
Oh, well, then I guess she just gets the, are you fucking for nothing?
She just assumes that's how most of you look at her anyway.
This is the weirdest fucking side quest.
To not take time later, after finishing food, I'm going to tell Axel that I'm going to go pick up some tools and basically trail behind these guys, but not know that, I'm behind them. I do just want to grab the pieces necessary to create my own jeweler's tools, just like a tiny saw, a hammer, files, pliers, tweezers, and a magnifying glass.
All right. You would have to go to the stockyard for that.
Gotcha. Then I will head there.
All right.
You can continue with them until I get there.
That's fine. Verity, Saya, and Nanaha, you make your way down to the Arisek stockyard. The rickety sign that was indicating it was closed seems to be removed, and there's a bit more going on than there was the last time you were here, despite the drunken attempt of people to overturn a carnival wagon.
This looks better.
Roz, Axel, what are you two up to?
Honestly, not much. I'm content to let the other people do their thing. I'll be the role of Travis during another shopping trip and just sit there quietly.
Okay.
Axel is also not doing much, like just kind of hanging out in the blue water, probably starting to drink a little earlier than usual, having a couple glasses of wine, but just, Axel has had some days and is just kind of in his own head.
All right. This sounds good. You are offered wine, and wine is served. All right, then. The three of you make your way into the stockyard. You see a heavier set man with a kind of a patchy beard at the front.
Is he the man who we rented space from for Minador and the cart last time?
Yes.
Sai is going to smile brightly. Good sir, thank you so much for your care of our horse and cart last time we were here.
It is no problem. Oh yes, I remember you. What can I help you with today?
We're here looking for gifts. Could you point us towards more of the unique items?
What kind of gifts? I need to know which shed to unlock.
Things that ladies might enjoy greater than gentlemen.
All right. You see him. Yelena, we have customers. Then that's fine. You take care of them, Gunther. I'm busy right now. And so he kind of just hoists himself up and grabs a set of keys from behind the small counter space and pulls you over to a shed that he unlocks a heavy padlock on. And inside are a variety of like clothing. There's some jewelry, some old bottles of perfume.
I would avoid the perfume, I think. I don't know how they age.
Never buy a woman a scent if you don't know she already likes it.
And he just kind of stands at the feel free to browse. If there is anything in there you want, let me know.
Thank you.
Verity says
No
nothing since
problem.
she was told not to talk. She just doesn't say anything.
So, Verity, do you see anything that you think she'd like?
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like, and she reaches into her robe and pulls out the necklace with the tarnished chain and the diamond that's gone, and it's almost, she's like, I cannot go back to see her after I ruined her gift that she gave us to me. And yes, I do realize it was payment, but she gave it to me, and I don't want her to. I cannot leave it like this.
Are there any, like, similar designed jewelry items that are there?
Make an investigation check, Nanaha.
Can do.
Unfortunately, not really. You see there's kind of like a small box, and in there are a bunch of rings. You see some earrings, a few chains, but there's nothing similar to the necklace that was given.
So, Saya wants to look for something a little bit different. Just sort of anything has like gems set into it that are kind of what's the way I want to describe this? I want them to be like darker, like swirls of darker colors in them, but like with a little bit of warmth to them as well.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me an investigation to do some searching around as well.
Damn it! Come on, dice. Just once. I have a cool idea, and it's nope.
Yeah, unfortunately, there doesn't really seem to be a lot in terms of gems.
Is there anything that has, like, a red color to it?
There's some, like, small rings, like, there's a small ring with a ruby inset on it.
How big is the ruby compared to the spot where it used to have a gem in that necklace?
Oh, significantly smaller.
Damn it. How many gemstones are there?
You see just like a handful of earrings or rings, maybe, I don't know, 6 in total actually have gems inset.
Does anything look like it would fit in that hole?
No, they're all much smaller.
Dang it. I don't know, I was thinking about just getting one of the gemstones reset into there, or maybe a couple if it would look good.
Pocket, at about this time you make your way into the stockyard. You hear some cursing that sounds familiar off of one of the sheds as you are padding your way in.
Oh, hey guys.
Oh, you're up.
Nana gives him a quick squeeze.
Oh, hi! And I'm going to counter that with an even tighter hug.
And she actually did laugh.
Well, I know. Pocket's got better eyes. Pocket, is there anything in this shed that reminds you of Verity?
There's a Verity, and I'll just point to Verity.
Something that has the dark mystique.
Please
Something-
enjoy the look, Pocket.
Pocket, take inspiration for accurately answering that question.
Like what? Like something.
Like, if Verity weren't here, and you were to look at the item, it would remind you of her.
A garnet, like a garnet or a pearl, maybe.
Or an amethyst. Or a Steven Universe.
Or just
I'm gonna walk up to
something.
Verity. Give her the up down look, and then
Comfort.
hug really tightly. Thank you, by the way, for bringing me back to life, I guess.
Verity goes like tense for a second. You know, her default reaction to being touched without, explicitly expecting it. But then, perhaps unsurprisingly to all involved, her arms kind of thread around Pocket, and she squeezes him back and stands up on her tiptoes, and her lips move, but what she says is not audible. And hopefully I won't fuck this up.
You could also just send it in Discord if I'm supposed to hear it.
Did it work?
Yes, it did.
Yay! Happiness.
So I'll pull away and once again give her the up down. Give me just a second. And I do want to look around the shop for everything first that I was coming here looking for.
Sure. That is going to be in a different shed. So you will have to get Gunther to unlock it for you, but it's a trivial thing.
Also, in this shed where he has these miscellaneous tools, is there anything else in there that's interesting?
Well, roll investigation and you'll see.
We're having a tough time here.
We're having a very tough time.
There's just so much crap to look through.
Or it's just sparse.
It is. You're basically going through like a Salvation Army at this point, like in terms of how things are organized and finding them. Pocket, you are able to find an old jeweler's kit, though. Like, the full kit is there.
Ha! Kind of examine the tools. I assume by old they're like a little worn, a little used.
A little worn, a little used. Previous owners probably a little not attached to them, if you know what I mean.
I'll take these.
Okay, that will be 35 gold.
Before I say anything, the bag of drums that we have, that Saya then gave me, was that already valued? Or did it have a value assigned to it?
So it was $20 worth, $20 or 20 gold and 5 silver worth of coinage and gems is what I was listed at, told.
So 20 gold and 5 silver?
So 20 gold and 5 silver in coins. The gems are a different amount.
Oh.
You never got them priced.
Got it. All right. So then this will come doubly in handy. Well then, how much did he say?
35 gold.
35 gold? That's robbery! These things are old!
We price them based on supply and demand. And
I'm clearly the only one demanding.
then I'm sorry. We have to pay finder's fees for many of these items, so for us to make any amount off of it, we have to price accordingly. Typically it's really only you adventuring types that ask for these sort of things.
Pocket, help us out with what we're doing, and I'll buy those for you.
Well, I could probably get this, but okay. For Verity, I mean,
So Saya's
get her books.
like Saya doesn't care just about like a gem or anything. She just means like anything in there that looks like something that you give to someone else and it would remind them warmly of Verity. And, like that's what she's explaining. Like, look around and do any of these things seem like if this was given to you, you would think about Verity, warmly?
Is there tiefling horn jewelry, thick books, worn quills, or no, I guess just those.
Certainly not in the tools shed.
I feel really
Go
called
back to
out
the
by-
other shed.
You were saying something, Pounce?
No, nothing. I just feel a little called out by the list that Dace made.
It's not for Verity herself, but, for Verity to give to someone else.
Well, then why would I want to think of Verity? Who am I thinking of?
Okay, let's pretend Verity is giving me a gift, and I want to be able to remember Verity as being awesome. What kind of gift would you have Verity give me?
A dog.
But that doesn't make me think of Verity, that makes me think of me.
Pocket, if you wanted to be remembered by a friend, and you were looking to give them something that would remind them of you, think about it like that.
Instantly give a glance around for Piddlewick at the way that she phrased that. I don't know.
All right. Pocket, just for your information, the gems. Here are what you have. There is a translucent stone with a mixture of white, blue, green, and gray coloring. There is an opaque, circular, brown gem. A transparent golden yellow, almost like cut like the rupees in Legend of Zelda. And then there is a white and pinkish colored stone that's kind of star shaped.
Do any of them look like they'd fit in the necklace?
Maybe the topaz, but it would be a bit big. The brown circular stone would be the best fit, but it wouldn't look very good.
How bad would the fit on the white and pink one look?
There would be gaps that you'd have to fill.
I don't know, Verity. Do you think this would look good in there and just get a couple of little itty bitty stones to fit next to it? White and pink, white and red?
I don't know. Am I supposed to return this to her now that I've used it? That seems strange.
Well, it would be new because it would have something from you in it. Polished, of course.
I mean,
Oh,
the
this is
gold
about
chain
the
is also
necklace.
The gold chain is also very tarnished from, a diamond burning away in it.
Or you could get a replacement necklace entirely. It's just. But yeah, we're looking for a replacement for this necklace because it's no longer got its shine anymore.
I would perhaps say that then instead, some kind words and maybe a written letter would suffice, because you got that as a gift from her, and now it's destroyed, and that's partly my fault. Sorry. But also, if it means that much, I think she'd rather just hear from you that it served its purpose and appreciate a thanks.
He gets a weird look. Her eyes narrow, she is surprised that he produced something so profound from his mouth.
And if you can't say it out loud, writing it down always works. Just get some pretty paper.
I see. Well, all right, and I would like to go. I made quick mention of just some earrings. I would like to go and see if there's any. They don't have to be flash. Just pleasant, nice-looking earrings to go with the apology letter I'm apparently about to write.
You can find some decent earrings. There's a jade green stone in there, about 15 gold.
Yeah. What do you think about these?
Ooh, those are pretty. I like them.
They don't match my eyes.
They used to match mine.
Saya?
Oh, they're lovely.
So I was like, I don't give a fuck.
Sorry, that was a Nev being.
Yeah, she shrugs and takes them and hands the gold to Rumpus or whatever his name is.
Gunther.
Gunther, I was close. You said 15 gold?
15 gold, correct.
Well, hey, we're poor.
Saya
Right.
passes over the 35 for Pocket's jeweler's
I'm
kit.
going to sleight of hand my 10 gold into Saya's coin purse.
Okay, roll it. Yeah, Saya doesn't seem to notice you adding money to her coin purse.
Not even remotely.
All right, so Verity's got the earrings in hand and an idea, and she tucks the necklace back in and starts leaving, but she stops next to Pocket and looks at him, glances to Nanaha and Saya and to Gunther, like anybody watching, and she was just if you tell anyone about this, I will destroy you all. And she gets on her tiptoes and gives Pocket a little kiss on the cheek, and then just walks out.
Pocket, you did get the jeweler's kit, right?
Yes, I'm adding it now.
Okay. Anything anyone else would like to do while they're at the stockyard?
I'm covered.
Nope, Saya's content.
Okay, Pocket, if you would like to identify appraise the gems you have, you could roll a jeweler's kit check.
What's the stat I'm using?
Intelligence.
Oh dear. Okay.
The star-shaped gem is a rose quartz. Could probably, your market asking price back home would be about 50 gold. The brown circular stone is a jasper. It's very well polished. This would also be roughly 50, give or take. The gray, blue, white swirled one is an eye agate, and that's 10 gold. And then the big rupee-like yellow gem is a actually really well-cut topaz. In some markets, you've seen that go for 500 or more.
Got it. And then also, if with that roll, can I determine if any of these have any sort of magical quality?
No, unfortunately. That would be either Arcana or...
Got it.
Yeah, or Detect Magic.
I will sit with that and go back to the inn to... Yeah, just go back to Blue Water.
All right. Little later in the day, everyone has their private time. Pocket and the ladies return to the inn, where Axel and Roz are just kind of doing their thing. The D&D adventurer equivalent of being in the same room playing on your phones on different sides.
When Verity comes back, I'm gonna kind of wave her over.
She suspiciously approaches. You are not about to hug me again, are you?
No hugs, but 1 second. And Axel will take... So Axel has 2 holy symbols around his neck right now. He has the one that he had when he came here, and then he's got the holy symbol of Ravenkind. He's gonna... So the one that I had, he's gonna take off. It is just, a relatively simple holy symbol on a simple gold chain. And he's gonna unhook the chain and take the symbol off and hand it to Verity. I know that necklace meant a lot to you, and it... I don't have any stone that you could set in it, but I can at least replace the chain.
She'll look at it and, do her best to offer a smile, like a kind smile. It's not an expression she makes often, so it probably comes out like not normal looking and slightly weird. And just kind of closes his hand back around the chain, and she goes, I really do appreciate it, but the sentimental, it's like she has to sort of spit out the word, sentimental value of the necklace came from, it is derived from who it came from, not the actual necklace itself. So if it's no insult to you, Axel, I would prefer to keep this one as it is.
Understandable. If you ever change your mind, I've got a spare chain for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Pocket might be interested in that, however. He bought a jeweler's kit for reasons I am only slightly worried about.
Oh. All right. Hey, Pocket.
What?
I just kind of heave the gold chain over. Do something with that. I don't need it anymore.
Perfect!
You see
I'm
him...
gonna take that and run upstairs.
You see... Okay, yeah, that works. And Pocket Newms upstairs. Would you like to do anything with your jeweler's kit and necklace and gems now?
I intend to take the... I have some string. I now have that necklace. I intend to, with whatever time necessary, fashion a necklace with the rose quartz jasper and the eye agate, and essentially just try to... They won't be fastened in professionally. They'll more be with the gold chain and string tied in, so it'll look like, 3rd grade craft fair jewelry.
Okay.
But still, I want to put that all together with as much string as necessary to make sure that they're tied in and secure.
Okay. Roll me another jeweler's kit check, but with dexterity this time.
I will use that inspiration.
Okay.
Better.
Yeah, you're able to do that. It looks, it's not amazing, but it looks actually pretty good. The colors are a little
Mismatch?
mismatched, so the way that you set it up is kind of like a 3-sided, almost like pyramidal sort of situation where each gem has a different face.
And then I'll sit on that and for a little bit later.
Okay.
Stylish.
for the rest of the day, it's honestly pretty quiet. You guys aren't really bothered. You're allowed to do whatever you would like. There's no immediate timelines right now for the party. So if you'd like to take some downtime, this would be probably the best place to do it.
Okay, good. I was making sure there was nothing else pressing. So I will find Verity. Zooming if I have to.
I mean, there's no need to zoom. She's just outside the inn, sort of. What time is it now, Fluffy?
I would say it's probably like early evening by the time this is all happening, post-supper.
Yeah, she's just sitting on a bench, like, not really enjoying the dinner, because, you don't really ever enjoy anything ever in Barovia, but just sitting with the peace and quiet she hasn't really had since she got here, and probably is about to have disrupted yet again, because here he comes.
Hi, Verity.
Ah, Pocket. Surprisingly, just who I was looking for, although not quite this soon. How can I help you?
I'll take a seat next to her. Well, I'm not... I don't really know the value of a life. I don't know that you can assign a monetary thing to it, but I wanted to do something to really thank you for saving mine. So I made this, and I will present this necklace.
She looks genuinely surprised, like actually genuinely surprised. To me, you wish to present it to me, and so she looks behind her, make sure there's nobody. To me?
Well, yeah. It'll be a thank you, and then you'll have a gift for me to remember me by.
It's not like you're going anywhere. But she.
I mean, if yesterday's any sign that might happen again.
Yes, about that. I thought we might have a little dialogue about that.
We don't need to talk about it. You could just take this.
She puts a hand like over his lips, like not a hand but a finger. What happened yesterday? I asked Axel, and he said you decided to be brave, but you are quite possibly the fastest humanoid I have ever met, and yet that clunky one-armed monster brute managed to catch you and pin you down and beat you?
I was mad. If someone hurts your friends, you're not supposed to run from them.
Right, but
that for someone as big as he is to decide that children are worth bullying when they're already being punished, it's cruel. It's unnecessary. And I don't like bullies. I don't like bullies at all. I refuse to run from him.
I will certainly agree with you there, but was something wrong with your short bow? Was it broken in the fight? Do you need me to mend it for you?
No. When he got up close, it felt wrong to run. It felt like I'd be giving him what he wanted to see me scared.
So she gives him sort of like a sympathetic look, like she understands. And he reaches into her little satchel there and pulls out a book, and she flips through to a blank page, and she goes, "Pocket, have you ever studied astronomy or mathematics?"
What'd you call me?
Astronomy. It's the study of the stars, Pocket.
You're an astronomy.
Okay, this is going well. All right. So, and out comes the quill. And so she draws a little dot right on the paper, okay? Like a little dot on the paper. She goes, "Okay, do you see that? This is us right here. Yes?
Okay.
Now, I'm going to tell you something that my mentor... No, music! This is not the time for dramatic hit.
Oh, that was good timing.
I'm going to tell you something that my mentor told me when I was rather down on myself. She pauses for a second. I hope she's okay. I just realized I probably vanished in the night, and in the morning I wasn't there anymore. Whatever. So she goes. She points. She goes, "This is us," and she draws a little circle around part of the page, and she goes, "Did you know that in our area, our little corner of the multiverse, there is a mathematical probability of 2 to 3 million realms, just like ours?"
Okay.
And then she draws like a bigger circle that encompasses the whole page, and then another one that encompasses like both pages because she has them both open on the front side. She goes, and in the entire multiverse, there is, mathematically speaking, again, 3 million little circles just like ours. Make sure he hasn't glazed over yet. Looks up at him.
A little bit glazed over.
Okay. And in all of that, and perhaps even more, only one of each of us. And she kind of like reaches up and puts a finger like on his, where I'm assuming tabaxis have hearts at the same location as people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Please don't destroy the one named Pocket. All I ask is that you remember to fight with your head first," give him a little scritch in the ear, "and then your heart."
I mean, if you guys are in danger, I'll have to save you.
I know. And she puts the necklace on. "But I'll let you shoot through my horns if it means you take better care of yourself in the future."
That sounded dirty. If, sure.
And here comes the ear flick.
Deserved.
But really, thank you though. It means a lot, and I'm sorry that it destroyed the necklace that Irina gave you.
Well, the necklace is fine, ish. The stone is. Pocket, I do believe. I'm not sure because honestly, I'm not very good at this sort of thing. I do believe you and I are having what is called possibly a moment. And she kind of like leans against him, sort of resting on him. And she goes, "Maybe we should just enjoy it and not try to ruin it by using words," which we are both apparently terrible at.
Axel said I ruined the moment a long time ago because I farted.
And there it is. She brushes it off and she's like, "I'm just glad you're still with us. I worry what would happen to the rest of us were you gone."
I wouldn't be gone for long. Cats have 9 lives, remember? And we can fade to gray for everybody else and just sit and enjoy the night.
All right.
Cannot believe you made a fart joke in the middle of that.
That sounds about right.
I thought it was fitting.
So, unless anyone else has anything they'd like to do, you're all able to get yourself situated for a nice rest. And the course of the adventure is now in your hands.
Well, that's slightly terrifying.
There's plenty. Right now, all of the pressing things are more or less addressed. There are several places you can go if you wish to kind of investigate more of the direct quests that you've been given. There is the trip to the temple. There is the abandoned mansion. There is meeting up with Esmeralda. There's plenty of things.
The windmill
I
hag.
say we just got that windmill deed too, yeah.
Yeah.
That got spoiled for me 2 days ago.
Oh.
No!
I am so upset.
I don't know what it is yet.
I don't know what it is either.
Say nothing. Say nothing, please.
I didn't interact with it, so shush, 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 shush.
Yeah, there's the windmill that you own the deed to. There's plenty of things
Oh.
going on.
Fluffy, a couple questions. One,
Yes.
what are the chances that Pocket, in his little Fisher Price My First Jewelry Kit, like strung together one or more magical gems, and by wearing it, she's attuned to it and now has awesome powers?
I do actually have proficiency with jeweler's tools, so I know how to use them.
Sorry.
No? Okay.
I would have given you a 100 on a D100, and something would have been magical. But unfortunately, it's not.
What do we get? What do we get?
I rolled an 86.
Hey, that's better than average. Not bad. All right. And secondly, was Lady Von... Oh, God, what's her name? Voctor. Lady Voctor. Was that actually an invitation to a book club, or was that just a cleverly disguised, like, hey, I want to see you at some point?
That was an invitation to a book club.
Oh, okay. When was that happening?
That would be happening in about 4 days.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, when the party reconvenes in the AM to, I assume, discuss what we're going to do, she will make mention of that she would like to be here in 4 days to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, she just kind of sits back and lets the discussion commence.
We can definitely be back in 4 days, hopefully.
Do we have a map? Like, do we just have a general map of the Valley of Barovia?
You do have a general map, yes. Let me pull it up. Yeah. There you are.
Is that where I just pinged? Is that the manor, or is that Berez?
Can you ping again, please?
Oh, sure.
That is the manor, correct.
Okay.
Oh, I thought that was the windmill.
No, the windmill's further down, closer to Barovia itself.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Yeah, you passed the windmill on the way to Valaki from Barovia Village.
Yeah. So, I count at least 5, maybe 6 different options ahead of us. I'm not sure which ones you guys would like to do. We have the windmill as you know, that we have the deed for. There is the mansion off in the woods. If you recall, the Martikovs did reference the village of Berez, where they think one of the other gems they were looking for might be located. We also have our tarot card readings that says we should go up to the highest point, which would likely be up in that mountain area, which there was a road off near all that conjunction of Kresk and Ostalovic Road and stuff that leads us, that looks like it would lead down along the edge of the mountain.
Well, I
Do we
am all
have
for
any-
going to the mountain, because I have a whole camp of people I have to help, and there might be something there to help them.
But will we be back in time for book club?
When is book club?
4 days from now.
Given that Verity wants to be here for that, I would say we should either go to the windmill or the mansion. While I have no particular interest in either, the windmill could be another safe location for us to claim as our own if we need to, considering things here went not quite as bloodlessly as Lady Voctor wanted.
Also, what's up with the mansion? I don't remember.
The mansion was one of our tarot card readings. And Axel kind of pulls, like he's going through his notes or whatever. The fallen paladin of a fallen order lingers like a ghost in a dead dragon's lair. And then someone mentioned that the a dragon had lived in that manor at one point. So I believe that is the manor.
I'm fine
Dragon
with either of
sounds
them.
cool. But also, I do want to go see that old lady because I do want to get more treats.
Pocket, those were what's the word for not narcoleptics, not aphrodisiacs. What's the word for what they were?
Narcotics?
Pocket, those were narcotic.
You're narcotic.
Imbibe responsibly.
I will also say that that's now like one vote for every place, which really doesn't progress us in
Fine.
making a choice at all.
Okay, so if we just rank choice vote for everything, and then we, okay, sorry. But I think our ultimate goal is still to get out of here, right? I certainly don't want to spend the rest of my life here.
Oh, heck no.
So I think something that might directly help with that might be the best course of action, and the mansion seems to be the closest for that.
I would have to concur with what Axel said. In theory, assuming we were to use Valaki as a safe place, it would make sense to secure the closest locations, as Saya said first, in order to eliminate the nearest threats, if there are any, in that order, to expand the sphere of relative safety that we have. Of which case, I would also say either the windmill or the mansion would be the logical choice.
Full disclosure, Saya cuts in. I'm more concerned Lady Voctor might back out on us, and I would like to have another place if we need to.
Yes, that also is wise. I don't know how the meeting Tuesday, I believe she said, how that's going to go, but she knows things I feel like she shouldn't know, so who knows what will happen.
Speaking of that, do you feel comfortable going alone, or should you have another learned scholar join you?
I thought about it. Do you know where I might find one? I mean, I do have my new good friend, Pocket Full of Gold, and she holds up the necklace and kind of like jiggles it a little bit, kind of like, ha, you're not backing out of it now. And I do believe Axel also volunteered, I think.
I thought Saya was invited.
But she turned it down.
What? So Saya didn't say she wouldn't go, more just she doesn't, like, her hair is constantly wet and people get really upset if you drip on their books. It's a whole mess.
Maybe we should all just go. I mean, we seem to be sort of... Well, let me put it this way. The last time we split up, things didn't go very well for us in general. Perhaps it would be better if we all went. I'm sure Lady Voctor has toys or something those who do not wish to read could entertain themselves with.
Or a towel for, Saya.
So on this map, I can't actually tell. Is there a road that heads south along the river, or is the only way to head directly south to get a boat?
There is not a road. Actually, you know what? I think I can. Give me a second here. With the map that you guys have, this one's from Esmeralda. I can show you the roads.
The dotted lines are like trails?
Yes, the dotted lines are trails, and the solid line is a actual road.
We could always go trail hopping. I mean, we have feet; they work.
I say, yeah. If that is trails over by the winery, we know the cart's not great on those.
There is a road. If you follow southwest of the crossroads, it does loop down by the mansion.
That works too. Each of these hexes is a quarter mile. Is that correct?
Yes. If you're trying to parse it out, if you press Q when you're using the ruler tool, you can pick a new direction. So it would be about 5 miles following the road.
Okay, so we could get there and back in a day. It's just kind of a bit of a travel. Well, with the horse and cart. We might have ended up camping there.
Pounce is just going wild.
I could never get it to work. I'm sorry. I'm happy it's working now.
You can also
Hey.
right-click.
It was just looking like Family Circus.
Or
Is all.
left click,
It's
whatever.
hilarious. All right, so it looks like everybody's kind of veering towards the mansion. Should we go there then?
We're off to fight a dragon.
It's better than sitting
we find
around
one.
here hoping Strahd lets us out.
Preferably, we do not fight a
And-
dragon.
And I'll be honest, if it is a rather deserted place, that could serve as a backup place, as Saya mentioned, in case the town is less than hospitable to us.
We
My-
have a fireplace.
The only concern there about it being hospitable is the rider that we've seen. I suspect that might be the fallen paladin the tarot card spoke of.
Do you need to give him peace or whatever it is your order does to those who are dead?
I will if I need to, or if that's what he needs, but I we haven't really interacted with him. We've just seen him. I have no idea if he's hostile, if he's a friend, or if he's just something left.
Well, I mean, based on Madame Ava, he's supposed to be one that will help us greatly in the battle against darkness. I'd like to think he'd let us shack up at his place a little bit to help us battle darkness.
That is a fair point.
So we're agreed. We'll head to the manor then?
Sounds like a plan to me.
Yep. This is in the morning, correct? So like we're gonna
Yeah.
hitch up Minadora and roll out.
Okay. Sounds good.
Are you
No,
gonna
I'm saying,
summon-
is that the plan? Like we're gonna hitch up Minadora and head out. Sorry, I wasn't.
Yeah, that works for, yeah.
I figured we could have had this conversation like that night while the girls went shopping and then came back, since we didn't really do anything. You know, at some point we can head out the next morning.
What's fair? One second, I'm just fixing my spells for the day.
No worries.
Put on that.
I will be back in.
Is he going to
just a
summon
moment.
Alexandre again?
Alexander is still kicking around somewhere.
Oh, okay.
He's scaring all the deer in the forest.
He probably is.
Yeah, like I imagine I'll just like walk out and whistle, and there'll be a zombie elk come running in one way, and a bunch of actual elk going the other way.
That's
Yeah, pretty much.
horrifying.
That's kind of exactly what happens.
Oh, good. Next time I want deer for dinner, we're gonna have to just, ask Alexander to come this way. Easy hunting.
I kind of want to go fight a dragon. You guys have heard stories of like great heroes fighting dragons, right? That would be amazing.
It is a dead dragon's lair. Hopefully, that doesn't mean it's a living dead dragon and just a dead dragon.
A lot of things here are supposed to be dead.
The last time I saw a dragon, supper's well collapsed. I hope we have better luck this time.
Sorry, you've seen a dragon?
Yeah, and then the town disappeared. It was not fun. It was kind of scary, actually.
What color was it?
White, skeletal, kind of dead, kind of not somehow. Terrifying.
Huh. Curious. And out comes the notebook. Scribble, scribble, scribble. FYI, Pocket, just so you know, anytime Verity wants him to do stuff now, she's going to take out the necklace and, like, jiggle it.
I mean, a few times you may have to translate because that'll just look like you're showing off.
No, like, kind of like, they get into an argument, and he's like, we're buddies now, you have to be.
We were always buddies.
Aww. I'm so mad at you. They had a moment. You made a fuck joke.
I had to keep it on brand.
It was incredibly on brand, and it was beautiful role play. But she gave him this like philosophical thing about don't ruin the only pocket in the multiverse, and he was just like. Nevia's turned into a heart. Is she? Oh, I wait. There's movement.
She had to go to the bathroom. She just walked by. She should be back in a second.
We could have taken a break.
It's just all.
We're back.
I assume the water checks.
Yeah.
It's just a travel montage.
All right, heading out. I take it we're taking the road.
Seems wise
Seems like
because
the safest bet.
if we take the trail, like we'd have to climb that hill behind the mansion. Probably not a good idea.
All
Yeah.
right.
Like trail, we'll take that to Brez later. All right, on the road. Yeah, when we go outside, Axel will whistle loudly, and the rustling from the forest as the elks go one way, and Alexander just comes trotting out.
Sounds good.
Still not as pretty as Minadora.
Oh no, she's best bay. Pat, pat, pat.
If we ever get out of here, I hope to see what Alexander really looks like.
This place does have a way of twisting things.
Onward, Minadora, to slay a dragon!
Oh god, I hope not.
Excuse me. You are able to make your way down the old Svalich road and eventually make your way to the crossroads. As you make your way down, you hear some strange sights. You hear some strange noises. The fog begins to get thick. Kind of a gray wall almost encompassing you as you journey down the road. Starts to get so thick that you can barely see more than maybe a couple dozen feet ahead of you. You see some forms taking shape in the fog. You hear the sound of swords clashing. You see shapes in the fog, soldiers on horseback, charging. You see other shapes in the fog, and they begin to take shape as soldiers with devil-horned helms, wielding pikes. The soldiers on each side begin falling as you're riding. It's surreal as you see this large-scale battle taking place in the fog, always staying distant from you as you travel.
They don't notice us at all.
No, this seems more like a scene playing out than actual people. Because you see, eventually, as soldiers begin to fall, their shapes in the mist dissipate and kind of become just wisps of fog, joining the rest of them. There's screams, clashing metal. You see a battle taking place, fixed in time as you're traveling forward.
Is there are we like watching silhouettes? Like, I know you said they're like shapes and the armor and stuff. Can we actually make out like the details of the armor, or is it just like a shadow of a guy in a horned helmet fighting other guys in shadows of armor?
So it's not super detailed. You see full outlines of people. It's kind of like, best way to describe it would be like a shadow puppet play.
Okay.
Like you see the shapes. The shapes are fully defined, but you can't make out details of the armor. But it's enough that you can see what's going on.
Gotcha. Okay.
Pocket
It's
is in full. Sorry.
Yeah. It's clear that both sides in this fight are human. Like, all of the soldiers are human.
Okay.
I'm just watching this as if it was a dream.
Yeah, it's like a mixture of a dream and a play, almost. And you see something out of the corners of your eyes. You look above, and there's this thunderous roar, just this that fills the sky, and the clouds overhead take the shape of a huge dragon made of a sort almost sparkling mist flying overhead. You almost feel the wind blowing as it flaps its wings, and there's this downdraft of cold air. It swoops down, slicing through the fog of soldiers. It flaps towards the devil-horned individuals, and you see this blast of cold wind erupt, and it blows out the fog as it swirls into just these tendrils of mist that rise up into the sky. And you see an old manor piercing through the tree line as you're getting closer.
Wait, was the dragon real, or was that part of the
The dragon was made up of like the clouds overhead, and it swooped down into this like scene being played out as if it was joining the fight.
Okay. We all saw that, right?
Yeah, I know it's fake.
Wait, what? You guys saw that?
Yes, Pocket. We saw that.
I wonder if that is the battle where the dragon eventually fell.
You guys can see the ghosts now too?
Those ones, anyway. I think that's location derived, Pocket. That's not you this time.
And do you still want to fight that thing?
Yeah.
Nanaha puts a hand on his shoulder. For once, you are truly braver than me, Pocket.
Let's not confuse bravery with stupidity, though.
Little late for this group for that instruction, Raz.
But they say dragons have treasure and gold and shiny jewels, and we could get it all.
And do you know how they keep their treasure, their gold, their jewels, their magical items? It's because they can kill anything and everything that comes to try to take it.
Isn't that point moot? Didn't the reading say it was a dead dragon anyway?
I certainly hope it's moot.
I'm a little excited. I could just grab some stuff and get out. I could totally do that.
Would you like to know the math based on our previous encounters on the chance of this dragon being dead and actually staying dead in the land of Barovia?
I assume it's pretty low, Verity.
As you guys get closer to that dark manor, you see it closer. Its turrets are capped with fairy tale-esque cones. The towers lined with battlements. A third of the structure at this point has collapsed, as has part of the roof, but the rest appears intact. A dark octagonal tower rises above the surrounding architecture. Out in the distance, you hear a clap of thunder, accompanied by the howling of wolves from the woods below. But the house itself stands silently, seeming like the fossilized remains of some long dead thing that was smote upon the mountainside and left to rot.
Did we leave poor Verity behind?
I see nothing.
Oh no! Sorry, I forgot to.
Lost party member.
I forgot to cap. For some reason, her token didn't move over.
That's okay, Fluffy. I understand. I'll just go.
Oh.
Roll20 strikes again.
Yeah.
Ruins another group.
Destroying the ones that get character development. Okay. Well,
Is that a dragon statue?
Yeah, you do see perched atop a cube of granite is a moss-covered statue of a dragon. Its wings are tucked in close, and the statue looks east towards the mansion.
Kind of like Margit. I'm gonna examine it. Like see if there's like a nameplate or anything interesting or jewels hidden on it or beneath it.
1 second. There should be a handout in your journal marked dragon statue.
Oh my, that is huge.
Well, she did say the cube underneath it was 10 feet tall, so...
Does this dragon look vaguely similar to the shadow that...
Yes, it
Okay.
does.
I like the mohawk.
Pocket, you go to inspect, and it seems that any sort of nameplate or etching has been long since lost to time and decay.
I'll climb up the 10 feet to the base of to where its feet would be and see if there's anything there.
As you climb up, you hear. So you look down. There's a rather plump-looking possum hissing at you.
I could eat you.
It just stands there with
Swat.
its needly teeth.
Are there does it have its babies here?
Yes.
You got lucky. And I'll leave it alone.
You survive the encounter with the trash kitten.
There's a possum up there with its babies, though it might be guarding treasure, so it might be dinner later.
Looking at it, can we tell what type of dragon this is supposed to be?
I was just say,
roll-
Saya's looking at the ears.
Roll Arcana for anyone trying to identify the dragon. Roz and Verity, you take a look, and it seems like this is most likely a silver dragon. Roz, you didn't have a lot of exposure to them coming from the plane of shadow. You've read about silver dragons. They are part of a group called the Metallic Dragons. Verity, in particular, you know that metallic dragons are typically good aligned. Silver dragons, in particular, tend to spend a significant amount of time polymorphed into human form and spend their days with other humanoids.
Well, she will relay that to the party. Being able to sound learned for the first time in quite some time.
Interesting.
Market, can you turn into people?
Fun fact also for the audience, Verity was almost a dragon soul or a sorcerer for who she was going to be silver too, before she went divine soul.
Cool.
Just putting that out there.
Mogget is a pseudo-dragon pocket. Unfortunately, they cannot.
You're still the biggest dragon to me, bud.
Though I'm curious, if silver dragons tend to be, again, aligned with the lawful sort of good side of things, if it was indeed the shadow or ghost or whatever we saw on our way in, that would imply that it was taking part in that battle against some evil, most likely, yes?
Possible.
I mean, considering where we are, I would not be surprised.
That's a good point, too. Pretty much everything here would probably be some flavor of evil.
Yeah, and the pikemen all did have horned helmets, like very reminiscent of a classical devil's silhouette.
Well, who wants to go in first?
Can we wait 10 minutes? Axel is going to kneel down and start ritual casting Detect Magic.
Okay.
Well, he's doing that then. Anybody want to come with me while I circle around the outside of this thing and see if there's any like back doors or other ways in besides the front gate?
I'd love to.
Not me.
Well, if you two are going, then I'll stay here, being mobile and able to get a hold of you if we need your help.
I do want to inspect the front steps and door for traps, though.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an investigation. Seems all clear pocket.
Relay that.
As you go up there to investigate, the dragon statue, actually you hear some clicks as Axel is ritual casting. Pocket, you see that there's a slight indentation now in the floor when you were heading up the steps. And you see the dragon statue, there's this like bluish glow in its mouth. And you feel a cold wind. That's all. Like it felt like you left the refrigerator door open, or the freezer door open.
Sorry, was that you?
What? I'm not gonna mess with you when we're in a possibly dangerous location.
It did emanate from the dragon statue.
Is the statue glowing or anything? Did other than feeling that, did it change?
There was a very, very, very ridiculously faint blue glow in its mouth.
Well, I will point to the dragon's mouth and say that I think something was there.
It'll take Raz and Nanaha a bit to circle, so Axel, I will tell you what you see when you bring up Detect Magic.
Okay, so after 10 minutes, so whenever that is, it comes up.
Yeah, the statue itself does have a extremely faint aura of evocation magic.
Does it seem to be emanating from anywhere?
Mostly just the statue itself. As while you were ritually casting, you did see the faint blue glow in its mouth. As Pocket, like there were a few snowflakes that kind of puffed out as the cold air blasted at Pocket.
All right. And that's like the mouth of the statue is what, about 20 feet up?
Yes.
All right. I will take my rope of climbing off my belt and command word it to like go up and like tie around the dragon's head and give me a ladder to climb up. Not a ladder, but a knotted rope to climb up.
And you climb up there. The magic is strongest at the mouth, but like the best way I could describe this is like a Christmas light that's about to burn out.
Is the mouth open? Like, is there can I put my hand in the mouth?
Yeah, the mouth is open, and you put your hand in, and it's cold, like a freezer open cold.
Okay. Is there like a gem or like anything I can feel around in there where it seems to be emanating from?
No. As you're kind of investigating, it seems like this was at some point a defensive trap that the statue itself breathed out, a damaging blast of cold. However, with just how weak the aura of magic is, it seems like whatever enchantment in here has degraded over centuries and is effectively useless.
Gotcha. All right, so I climb back down and relay to the party that this was probably a magical trap at one point, but whatever's there is not dangerous anymore, I don't think.
Roz and Nana... Oh, go ahead, Pocket.
I was just going to say, do I realize that I stepped on the thing that triggered it?
Yeah.
I'm going to step on it again.
It is having a hard time coming back to reset position.
Okay, nothing else.
So this place is old.
Yeah, Roz and Nanaha, as you're circling, you see, as you're heading around the towers, there's an iron gate that is shut with a extremely rusty padlock. The gate itself is just red with rust and age and decay. There are vines and just dead plant growth kind of growing up it like a trellis with ivy.
Do we see the figures through the windows that we are currently seeing based on our characters' positions?
You do not. You see some bodies, but you do not see like up and mobile figures. You just see some bodies slumped in chairs.
Okay.
The echo will peel off of him and just continue following.
Okay. You do also, like, as you're passing by as well, you do see a cemetery. Seems very quiet. As the two of you make your way around the cemetery, you look up towards the upper floor, and there's this feeling of being watched. You see a well-dressed man with a thick mane of thistledown hair observing you from the highest floor window. The curtain is drawn, and he disappears from view.
Well, we know someone's here at least.
You also see, as attached to this graveyard is a large mausoleum. Tarnished, silver-plated gargoyles shaped like dragon wormlings cling to the stone tile roof of this mausoleum. You see a 8 foot wide, or 8 foot tall, 4 foot wide white marble door set into it, but you can't read the engraving from this distance.
Is that the plus sign thing on the top?
Yeah, that's the plus sign looking thing.
Dear dead people, please stay in the ground.
Let's keep going and give our report.
Does anything else show as magical in the front area here?
No.
Okay.
As you're making your way down through
Well.
the south, yeah, I know. As you're making your way down through the south, you see a few things. There is a very rotten pile of rubble and wood. Seems to have once been a stable, burned basically to its foundation. You look above, or you look north of it, and you see all 3 floors are exposed to the elements as basically this outer wall collapsed. In what at some point was a ballroom, you see shapes skittering amongst the rubble, thick webs stretching from wall to wall, and there are several giant spiders that are just watching you from a distance as they are just hanging on their webs with curiosity. They don't seem to act. If you get closer, you hear some chittering. Otherwise, they are content to watch you right now.
All right, note to self, keep the undead elk between our horse and these things.
Find anything?
Don't go
yes.
south, there's giant spiders.
We found a number of things, yes. And if you look down there, you see that rubble on the edge of the south end of the house. That's a big spider den. I counted it 6 or 7 of them, big ones, hanging in their webs watching us. There was a number of bodies on the bottom floor, on the opposite side of the house from where we are. And above that, on the 3rd floor, there was an odd-looking gentleman who was watching us for a while before retreating further into the house. So our presence is known.
Excellent.
Maybe we can knock if someone lives here?
Sorry, I already used the scroll, and it appears to have consumed itself with its use.
No, I mean a mundane knock. You know, you go over, you put your fist to wood and go, knock, knock, knock.
What kind of person would live with such pets as you see there? And he points to where the spiders are.
Do any of us speak Draconic? Just in case the dead dragon is less dead than we expect. Lumi, you're very muffled.
Sorry. Nope.
I don't. My order only taught that to the mages.
Ground.
I mean, I'll knock on the door.
A bit. Nobody else answered the questions.
Oh, I only speak Common and Elvish.
No, I think if I recall, Draconic was one of the few languages that none of us speak.
It's true, though
Hooray!
technically I never picked a language for Verity, but a little late for that now.
Up to you. I will let you pick Draconic if it is what you want.
It wouldn't make any sense for her to have it, so no, it's fine.
I'll admit, typically meta I take Draconic, but there was no reason for Saya to have known it, so...
There wouldn't be so Draconic and Giant are common magic languages, at least in older editions of D&D, so that's...
And Saya has literally zero interest in doing magic the normal way. So...
Oh, right, but for Verity, it's possible that, Giant or Draconic could be something that she'd be interested in if
Tell you what,
studying her magic.
we'll flip a coin. Heads is Draconic, tails is Giant, and that'll be what her sage or mentor taught her before she got sucked away. How about that?
Make it so.
Okay, she knows Draconic apparently. Ta-da! Get meted.
All right, Pocket, you're going to the front door.
I will knock on the front door.
You knock on the front door. Some dead plant material will kind of rattle off of one of the overhangs. There's an abandoned bird's nest there. No one seems to respond.
Shrug and look at the group.
Well, we tried it the polite way.
Is it open?
I'll test the handle.
It opens. You see now that you're a little closer that flagstone steps flanked by the stone railings climb to what is essentially a large pair of wooden doors with rusty iron bands. The door knockers are shaped like small dragons. Carved into the overhang above the entrance is the word Argenvostholt.
House of Argenvost.
He's the dragon dude. I mean, everything around here has dragons.
So I knocked. Who wants to go in first?
What are we doing about Minadora? With the wolves and spiders?
Didn't see any stable.
Alexander can defend her to the best of his ability, but is there? Well, I guess Minotaur's hitched to the cart. There's really nowhere to tie them up to, is there? Nor do we, I guess, probably want to.
Really, the closest thing to tie up would be the dragon statue.
Would Minadora be inclined to just stay put? Or does she need to be tied to something?
Make an animal handling check. You can convince her to stay put.
Okay, Minadora, stay with Alexander, and he'll keep you safe.
Make sure those spiders don't get a bit frisky with large animals nearby.
Stay away from down there.
And then, yeah, to Alexander, if anything, if the spiders come down, let us know. Or at least let me know.
He lowers his head and taps his foot on the ground.
We could always just take care of the spiders.
In theory, if the man is the dragon or the paladin, he could be our ally. I don't want to start killing his pets if they are his pets.
Axel's correct. That would theoretically lower the chances of us making a positive first impression.
We try knocking. We did try
Sounds
to.
You're not quite sure if they were pets or not, but because that whole area was just really collapsed and the outer wall was exposed. It could just be that these things moved in.
It's also possible, but until we know for sure, I'd rather not murder them. Or until we have to murder them, I guess.
They're bugs. It wouldn't be murder.
That's fair, too.
That's slightly specious.
Also untrue. Spiders are not bugs.
They are indeed arachnids.
All right, so Pocket said the door's open.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome to go in.
All right, shield and spear and not casually, but very slowly walk in the front door.
Follow behind Axel.
You walk in, and this large room feels almost like a king's tomb. There's a set of staircase that leads up to sets of stone balconies. These balconies are held up by large pillars and arches. There is a thick layer of just dust settled. There are 6 sets of double doors leading from this foyer. Along the walls, displayed on marble pedestals, are 3 alabaster busts of handsome men. A 4th bust and its pedestal have been knocked over, and their shattered remains lie strewn across the floor. There are 2 large wrought iron chandeliers hanging from the ceiling, almost as if they were black monstrous spiders. You see in the worn and tattered tapestry, it looks like originally a painting of someone. Seems to be a handsome human male. Dark black, short cropped hair. Just, I would not say he looks imposing, but he looks serious.
Does he look like the guy on the cover of this module?
He does not.
Okay.
So the bodies we saw would be in the room on the other side of these stairs in the back.
Mm-hmm.
You said the man that was watching you was up on the 3rd floor, right?
Yes.
Well, I suspect that he's who we're here to speak to, so we should probably head up.
Axel, before we do, maybe you should announce our presence a little more loudly. It's
Just
entirely...
thinking that, and I will just cut her off and yell, "Hey, we're coming in your house!"
Politely was the rest of the sentence, but...
As you yell this, the room gets dark. The light filtering in through the old leadened windows and opened front door just seems to be filtered out. You look against the wall and you see this shadowy shape. Looks like a great winged shadow that basically traverses up the walls and then disappears. You hear a soft hiss in the darkness before it fades.
If whatever that was comes to eat us, I'm putting you first, Pocket, since you decided to announce us like some sort of drunken pub crawl.
Axel will cast light on his shield.
So would now be a good time to explain to you guys how shadow dragons are made.
I would love to know.
This
Is that
sounds like
like
a
Shadow
great
Puppet?
time.
A shadow dragon is the form a dragon takes when they've entered the Shadowfell and the darkness consumes them. It happens most often to chromatic dragons. There was a number who lorded over Gloomrot, where I grew up. And as their color fades in the grayness of the Shadowfell, they become shadow dragons.
And if I recall correctly, you told us when we first got here that this place is in the Shadowfell?
Aye, it is. It's why I look older than I am.
How old are you?
Only 111.
And here I just assume years of always making that face had just left it set that way.
I'd be dead at that age.
His mother did warn him.
Oh,
On the bright side, the statue is of a silver dragon, correct?
Yes.
I don't know what would happen if a metallic dragon had the same thing happen to it, but
Keep your head up and your ears open is the moral of this story.
Hopefully it's still a good dragon. I like good dragons.
Have you ever met a
have you met
dragon?
many?
No, I only met an evil dead dragon, but I really want to meet a nice dragon. I really would prefer it to be nice.
See, this is the point where I would use my newfound meta knowledge to teach Nalaha how to say, "Greetings, I'm here for your treasure," in Draconic if she ever met a nice one.
So yes, there are the stairs going up, and there are several double doors leading to other rooms within the ground floor of the manor.
The light works, right? Like my shield's actually emanating light in the
Yes.
darkness here. Okay.
Eventually that shadow fades and the light returns.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, if we're attempting to be polite about this, I do think finding the person Rez and Nanahasa is our best bet, but keeping our eyes, ears, and weapons ready seems ideal.
Agreed.
may I have my shadow, please?
Sure, 1 second.
Rapier and shield out.
I mean, she's got the quill out. Though, for
Okay.
All right. And then so the stairs left and right go up to the next floor.
That is correct.
Okay. I will go up the bottom set then.
Raz will go up the northern path then.
Okay.
Do you need, I don't know if you need to draw to like take us to the next floor. Or...
I will be, yeah.
Okay.
Well, which group do you want to follow, Verity? Raz or Axel's?
oh goodness, I don't know. Where are you going? Magic users are supposed to stick together, correct?
Yes, except when our group requires us to split up to keep an eye on both of the groups.
I mean, we could have all just gone the same direction. There was no need for us to theoretically split like this, but...
This is where we last saw the man, this direction.
Then we should go that way.
Fair enough. Axel can take care of Pocket, I'm sure.
As you guys are heading upstairs, you hear... You hear this just nervous neighing, and you look outside. And you see that there is a cart parked next to your horses. Your horse and elk. Alexander is, like, eyeing it up cautiously. You see this human woman pulling something off the cart and leaving it next to the dragon statue.
Do we recognize the like? Is it Esmeralda?
It is not.
Okay. Is it?
Roll a perception check. Because you're looking through the windows on the second floor down. Nanaha. Nanaha, this person is clearly Vistani in the way that they're dressed and appearance and just overall. And the object that you see that they placed down on the ground is a coffin.
Relay this to the group and go, you guys found me in a coffin. What the heck? I didn't know they had coffin delivery.
That's odd. Is the Vistani woman staying, or is she just like dropping off the coffin and leaving?
She's dropping off the coffin, unhitching the cart from her horse, and then riding the horse off.
Leaving the wagon? The cart?
Yep.
More than a little
Well,
bizarre.
Do we want to check on that before we continue scaling this house?
Well, if they have regular deliveries, maybe we should just talk to them first and not go through their stuff. I mean, you guys should not go through their stuff.
But what happens if there's something in the coffin that's going to harm Minadora?
How guilty would you feel if something happened to poor Minadora?
Pretty guilty,
Oh,
actually.
come on! I'll stomp back downstairs.
Yeah, I'd be going downstairs too.
All right.
So okay, so I had to check. I can communicate with Alexander telepathically if he's within a mile of me. Is Alexander worried? Like, is
Alexander's confused.
okay?
Like, he was worried, and then he was just confused because this person left a cart with a coffin and then rode off.
Alexander's not worried, but we should maybe take a quick look just to be sure, and then we can head back.
Okay. I will. Everyone else going down? I'll just move you back down.
Yeah, I mean, might as well.
Splitting up seems like a poor life choice.
This way we can all send us the same direction towards where we last saw the dude.
Mm-hmm. So, you head back down there and you see this cart just being left. Coffin propped up next to it. It's right next to the dragon statue.
Check the cart for traps.
Go ahead and roll.
Hey, Pocket.
Seems fine.
Is the coffin nailed shut?
It is. There is also something etched on the lid. And like a brass placard.
What does it say? Can I read it? I suppose.
Yeah, you can read it. It's in common. It says Saya Winterheart on it.
Delivery, Saya?
Oh, joy. Well, it's either that or a threat.
Would you like me to melt it?
It'd be a relative.
Well, we should probably find out what's inside it. I should hope not a relative. I've only got my parents and brother.
Oh, that's how I came here.
Hey, Pocket, can I borrow your crowbar?
Yep.
All right. I'll start prying the coffin open.
All right. Make an athletics check at advantage.
Rough day.
That's still enough. It's not nailed super hard. As you open the lid of the coffin, you hear just all this chirping as you see dozens of bats flying out of the coffin as the lid is opened. And
I'm immediately looking for Strahd.
you do not see him. However, Saya,
Yes.
you take 12 points of piercing damage as the bats begin to bite you profusely before flying off.
Yes, that's a threat.
Is there anything else in the coffin now that the bats have flown off?
No.
Okay.
Are there any air holes or like anything in there?
Nope.
I see. Perhaps we should refrain from opening any more coffins, since those bats would have apparently suffocated to death had we just left it.
Or maybe they're not normal bats. considering they only attacked Saya.
This was delivered by a Vistani. I don't.
I'm gonna check the cart.
Yeah, go ahead.
Investigation or perception?
Investigation.
Can't seem to do it today.
Honestly, the only thing in there was the coffin, which was propped up next to it. The cart itself was otherwise empty.
Ooh, worst case scenario, we can have Alexander bring it back and sell the cart. We don't exactly have a lot of cash, so I don't know.
Pocket does. With
Okay, I don't have a lot of cash. How about that?
Oh, Saya, would you like me to see to your new perforations there?
I'll worry about it if they get worse. Does she do I feel normal? Like I didn't.
You feel fine. You're in pain from all the bites, and you're not entirely sure if there's bat guano on you or not.
Well, that's an easy enough shape water. But I would rather you save your magic in case there's more dire need.
Probably a good idea.
You could have Nanaha bandage you up before we go back in.
If she feels it's worth a use. I know you only have so many of your kits.
Okay, but we'll keep an eye on you.
All right. With that, I think would be a good point to end the session for the day.
Woo! Thanks for running, Fluffy.
Woo.
Yeah.
That was something else.
That bat encounter was definitely enough to level us up, right? Right.
No, not yet.
what all the shopping we did, all the character development.
That's exactly
worry.
why it's taking us so long to level.
It's probably part of it, yeah. Also, this game.
Don't worry. Don't worry, I have things planned. You guys will be leveling up probably in the next session or two.
Why does it worry me when she goes, I have things planned?
Oh, it's not a big deal, Fluffy. I was just messing around.
I know. I hope y'all had fun. Thank y'all for
Was the
coming.
bad encounter just to fuck with us? Because it fucked with me.
Maybe.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. Roz had a nice, relaxing day. Didn't really have much going on.
Great day. Got a manicure, pedicure. He's good.
Yeah. All right. Bye, everybody. I'm gonna hand this back to Nevi.
See you, Fluffy. See you, chat.
Bye.
Thanks everyone for playing. Thank you so much, Fluffy, for running.
Thank you, Fluffy.